James Harden, I've been waiting to get on your motherfucking ass, Holmes. I've been waiting, bro. Now, James Harden, I was cool with my boy James Harden, bro, until he requested that trade out of Philly. At that point, all respect. Because at that point, bro, hear me out. James Harden, you requested a trade out of Houston, right? They bring you to Brooklyn. Things are going good. You know, y'all hooping for real. Y'all start getting injured. Injuries happen. That's fine. You know, y'all made it to the second round. Took the Bucks, the eventual champs, to a game 7. If KD hits that shot, y'all might have been the championship. Harden didn't perform the best. I mean, he was injured coming back in that series. We all know this. That's cool. The very season after that, right? You request a trade. Or was it the season after that? I think it was the season after that. Request a trade to Philly. And then you go on to say, Philly was my main destination when I requested out of Houston. Okay, so he meant to be here, you know. I mean, to be fair, Philly was one of the destinations he could have went out of Houston. It was Philly, and I think it was Brooklyn. I forgot the other team. It was one more team, I think. So yeah, okay, that's fair. But then you request a trade out of Philly after y'all was one game away from the conference finals. You underperformed in that series, bro. And I'm not saying like, okay, he underperformed because he had that little 40 bomb in game 1. He led them to a win against the Celtics in game 1. That's cool. Bro. Y'all was one game away. You act like things are going horrible. Philly's a perfect fit for James Harden, so I can't see why he will request a trade. So those are the main things I don't like about James Harden. He's still a good basketball player, bro, but bro, with the loyalty, like, I mean, bro, like, what's next? Even if he does go to the Clippers, he's not staying there, bro. He's not staying there. And I hope he doesn't get traded, bro, because he signed a contract. Yo, let him play out his contract, bro. I'm all for player empowerment, but Harden, I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's getting insane, bro. Like, what's up? Like, what's up, bro? Anyway, let's just watch this video. Enough talking. I'm pretty sure you guys heard enough. Let's just get right into it.
Harden's decline, really since like 2020, has been kind of just fucking crazy. Like, let's just go back like a couple of years. Dude was a perennial all-star, league MVP in 2018, led the NBA in scoring from 2017 to 2020, had his team one win away from the NBA Finals in 2018. Like,
I know, like, especially since he joined the Nets, he wasn't the same scoring wise. You know, he would put up some points here and there, but he was more like a passer. He would like to distribute the ball. He played point guard, Kyrie played shooting guard, you know, then KD just be like the power forward for that team. But imagine if they had like 3 scores just going crazy, like Harden was Houston, Harden distributing, and he could go crazy at any time. It seemed like in Brooklyn, it wasn't really like that. He was more passive than anything. Imagine if they got like a prime James Harden on that team. That team would be, that team would have won it all if they would have stayed healthy. They probably would have won it all anyway. But if Harden was really hooping like he was in Houston, it would have been over.
This guy was genuinely a top 5 player in the world.
Oh yeah, he might have been like top 3. He was one of the best scorers ever during this era. Like outside of Pete George.
Like I said, my laptop may freeze a lot. Like, I don't know. It might freeze for like 2 seconds. I don't know. I'm still trying to fix that. So just bear with me here. Just bear with. I apologize. I apologize if it does that. Sorry.
Pete Kobe. There's not really many guys that could score like he could. He could shoot. He get to the line. He get to the bucket. He had a quick burst. The dude had everything in his bag.
I mean, look at his 2018-2019 season. Dude averaged
2018 Harden. I ain't gonna lie, bro. 2018 Harden was crazy, especially that Rockets team in general was crazy. I'm surprised they didn't win it all, bro. That just stems from my hate for KD. Like, bro, the fact that Houston team didn't make the finals because of KD is crazy. KD, why'd you have to go and ruin basketball for 2 years, bro? For 2 years. So you and Harden, it's like, nah, I'm not even gonna call him a scumbag. But y'all questionable. KD and Harden is questionable people.
Points per game. Scored 40 plus 28 times.
What the hell? That's insane.
Scored 50 plus 9 times and scored 60 plus twice. That's the 7th highest points per game average in NBA history.
Yeah, I think this season kind of killed him away though, because the entire offensive load was just on Harden that season. Chris Paul missed a ton of games with a hamstring injury, and James Harden, it was an all-time carry job by him that season.
Yeah, I mean, they got bounced by the Warriors in 2018. They got bounced by them again in 2019. They traded away Chris Paul in exchange for Russ, only to lose to the Lakers in round 2. They didn't even mention the fact that he had Dwight Howard for a couple years before they got Chris Paul. But after the bubble, after they lost to the Lakers, Rockets lost Mike D'Antoni and Daryl Morey, and it was kind of clear that their window had passed. Rumors started rumbling about Harden maybe wanting out, and then Russell Westbrook wanted out. So now both of the Rockets guards are like, yeah, fuck this.
Russ. Yeah, that didn't really last long. It was literally just like 1 year.
Hey, that man Russ, he was about to be a journeyman too. Like, he wasn't good anymore. Russell Westbrook requested out of Houston, wanted to go to the Lakers, requested out of Washington, but at that point, he just wasn't good to the men where he went anymore. He had to go where they would accept him. Nothing more, nothing less. So Russell Westbrook was going the same route as James Harden, but Russ was just awful. So it was only a couple teams that wanted him anyway. So at that point, you could call him a James Harden 2.0, but he wasn't good enough to be that.
How many people thought it was going to work out? I mean, we sure as hell didn't, Russ and Harden, and it really didn't. But the Rockets, they're like, we'll move Russ, but we're going to keep Harden for now.
And then Harden engaged Operation Fat Suit.
He really did.
Now look, I don't know if he wore a fat suit, but goddamn, look at these pictures. And then look at him when he got to Brooklyn. It is not physically possible to look like that and then look like that in that short amount of time.
He did not show up in shape. Simple as that.
No, and he was dogging it for the Rockets. It's like he still was putting up like 24 points per game because James Harden, even when he's dogging it, can still do that. But on January 12th,
that man got the fat suit out, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Get the fat suit. As soon as we beat him in the playoffs, he was done with Houston, bro. LeBron sent him out of Houston. LeBron's just that guy. I'm sorry. LeBron sent James Harden out of Houston, and when he hit that little turnaround jump shot, when he shot the ball, turned around, he's like, yeah, that's the last straw. I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done with this franchise. I'm done.
Went straight up scorched earth because he just told reporters that the Rockets were, quote, just not good enough. I mean, Dave's probably been thinking that for years, but at least he still shows up and plays.
I've never seen a player just completely say, like, I'm giving up. I'm not playing for them. I'm going to do whatever I can to get traded.
If memory serves, though, he did have a game where he scored 44 points against the Blazers just to prove, oh, yeah, I'm still a great player. I'm just intentionally playing like shit right now.
Well, James Harden could be like 300 pounds and still give you like 30 a night.
Probably, yeah. Harden finally got his wish, though, only 2 days after he said his team wasn't good enough. He got traded to Brooklyn, which, according to reports, was one of his 2 options. He got traded there for Victor Oladipo, 4 firsts, and 4 first swaps.
Not the best, but in hindsight, I'm sure they're like, okay, you know, we'll take that for Harden how he is nowadays. And I was just shocked when this deal went down because I heard a little bit of murmurs about it. You know, maybe Harden could go to Brooklyn, but I was like, there's no way. They just got KD. They just got Kyrie. There's no way they get James Harden as well.
And then they got James Harden
as well.
And when he started there, he was looking like, honestly, an MVP caliber player.
He was still putting up like his same numbers that he was in Houston, but that was fine now because he was part of a big 3. He wasn't the lone star there. And yeah, people were saying like, he's the most important member of the big 3 because of his ability to assist the ball. He was awesome when he played.
And honestly, when that big 3 played together, that team was unstoppable. I mean, Kyrie, KD, and Harden, they only played 16 games together, but they were 13.
I mean, I could understand. I'm not really going to hold it past James Harden for requesting out of Brooklyn. Like, okay, you had the whole situation with Kyrie. KD couldn't stay on the court for more than 10 games at a time. You know, y'all barely played any games together. It was too much drama going around the Brooklyn organization. I get it, bro. Like, that's fine. But I'll be damned if you request out of Philly, bro. Hey, come on, bro. I'll be damned. I'll be damned if you want out of Philly to go to the Clippers to form a big 4 with Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Kawhi. Come on, bro. And they barely play. They barely play. Like Paul George and Kawhi for the past like 3 years, they played like how many 16 games together? 16 games in total together, bro. Something crazy like that. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's not gonna be any better. It's gonna be Brooklyn all over again, and then you're gonna play with Russ again, a worst version of Russ. I don't know what you want, Harden. Like, you put yourself in the same positions. So playing with Russ is just like playing in Houston again. And then you want to play with Kawhi and Paul George. Like playing with KD and Kyrie. 2 dudes who can't stay healthy. But you just want it all together at this time. Yo, fuck it. You're going to request that of LA, bro. 100%. You're not staying there. I'm trying to tell
13-3.
you.
I feel like when they were fully healthy, nobody could even remotely stop them.
Well, that's the problem.
There's your problem.
They were never fully healthy. Quite literally, ever fully healthy. They played 16 games together over 2 seasons.
And really, what killed this team?
16 games together over 2 seasons. Insane. So that's like a full playoff run in 2 years. In 2 years, you played a full playoff run. The bare minimum of playoff games you have to win is 16. And that's all games y'all played together in 2 seasons. That's crazy.
Start of it was that hamstring injury. What killed Harden's career at this point was that damn hamstring injury.
I'm gonna need a documentary in 20 years about this hamstring injury. It's really weird. Like, he first hurt it in April. He missed about a month. And, you know, he came back in the playoffs and he played pretty well in round 1 against Boston. He dropped 41 points in game 3. Like, he looked all right. But 43 seconds into game 1 against the Bucks, he re-aggravates it. And he did come back, but he was god-awful. Scored 5 points on 1 of 10 shooting in 45 minutes played.
That is awful. Here's the thing with Harden. I'll defend him a little bit here because from what I've heard is the Nets doctors labeled this as hamstring tightness. And the truth was it was a grade 2 hamstring strain, which apparently takes a month or 2 to recover from. So he had no business playing.
Well, it looked like he had no business playing.
He didn't.
Because he played like
Yeah,
shit. He also played game 6 and 7, but he was a complete
hurt.
non-factor. We all know KD's big-ass toe was on the three-point line. If it wasn't, maybe we're having a different conversation.
Right.
Maybe KD, Kyrie, and Harden are all still in Brooklyn. Who knows? But what actually happened is
KD almost had to solo the Bucks, bro, and he almost did it. Yo, KD is a bucket, bro. That man literally almost soloed the Bucks. He almost soloed them without Kyrie and Harden. Like, KD, you don't need as much help as you think you do, bro. Like, you didn't need to go to Golden State. You didn't need to go to Phoenix. Like, come on, bro. You are a bucket, bro. You just need another star. You could have just had Kyrie in Brooklyn and just get crazy depth behind y'all and been going crazy. But then you wanted to go get a third star and just tear off all your depth. For a washed Harden, that's
the Nets
tough.
bowed out to Milwaukee. And going
That's
into the next
tough.
season, like, the Nets offered Harden a 3-year, $161 million extension, and he passed on it because he was betting on getting a 4-year, $227 million extension the next offseason.
Dude, just take the money.
Yeah, I take the money.
I know it's 1 more year. It's a lot more money, 227 to 161, but just take the damn money.
This season, though, quite a weird one for Brooklyn. Kyrie missed the first 2 months because he didn't want to get the COVID vaccine. He was brought back in early January, but
like I said, there was a lot of drama behind that whole situation. So I don't fault Harden for wanting out of this because it was a toxic environment, albeit, but he still had to show that he can be that guy sometimes, and I think he did that in playoffs this year for a few games actually. But to just go ahead and say, you know what, forget that, I want out and I'm going to LA, it's kind of crazy, bro. That just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, you was doing really good in Philly. I mean, don't you want to be the guy to get Embiid over that hurdle and finally get him to his first conference finals, bro? Embiid played a little scary against the Celtics, but still, bro, you're not gonna get much better in LA, bro. They're not winning shit, not winning nothing, and especially since they have to trade so many big pieces to even trade for Harden anyway. I don't want them to trade Harden, bro. I think he should stay in Philly. Don't trade him,
only
bro.
for road games until New York City lifted their COVID restrictions. That, by the way, didn't
Because at
happen.
that point, the Clippers are not going to be good. I'm 100%, bro. Like, Kawhi's going to play a total of 27 games this season. Paul George, he might stick around longer. Russell Westbrook is going to play all 82 games. We already know that. And it's going to be Harden and Russell Westbrook. Or sometimes, even if James Harden, he has some injuries too, so it's just gonna be Russell Westbrook out there with a bunch of scrubs. It's gonna look like LA. No, it's a horrible decision.
End of March, the Nets were 24-12 when they brought back Kyrie. They were just coming off a 3-game losing streak, and personally, I think they panicked.
You're completely right. They panicked, but they did ball out in that first game. I think it was on the road at Indiana, so things were still looking a little bit good. If you keep James Harden, if you keep Kevin Durant healthy, you have Kyrie part-time at least, that's still pretty good. 2.5 superstars, better than most teams.
Yeah, then Durant went out of the lineup, and they fell off a cliff.
They fell off so damn hard.
Yeah, they fell off multiple cliffs, actually. They went on an 11-game losing streak without KD. They dropped from the 2nd seed down to the 8th seed. And again, rumors rumors started to surface about Harden wanting another trade, this time to Philadelphia. And he didn't deploy the fat suit this time, but he did start dogging it and playing like ass again.
He just quit on the team.
He did 100%
Didn't quite do the fat, so he's like, I'm gonna do it a little bit, not as obvious this time. Here's the thing from.
And the crazy thing is, if Harden don't get traded, bro, he's gonna be playing like this. He's gonna play like this, bro. He's a baby.
Dogging it and playing like ass.
He just quit on the
team. Like, look, he's gonna play like this if he doesn't get traded.
He did 100%
Didn't quite do the fat, so he's like, I'm
Just
gonna do it a
throwing
little
games.
bit, not as obvious this time. Here's the thing from Harden's perspective. He went to the Nets. He wanted to be like, you know, a second, third option. Then Kyrie's not playing. KD's hurt, and he's like, what the hell? I'm back to the Houston James Harden days.
Also,
I can't wait to edit
you couldn't
this,
predict the Kyrie being out from the vaccine, but you could predict him being out from injury. Kevin Durant had just recently missed a year of action with a torn Achilles. Like, you could predict him going out. This was not an unforeseen situation.
And also, it's not like the Durant injury was a season ender. He still returned near the end of the season, so, and Kyrie was able to play full-time games. Like, he could have just waited it out, and they all would have been there for the playoffs.
But nope, on February 10th, 2022, Harden was traded to Philadelphia for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round picks, and honestly, a god-awful trade for Brooklyn, even considering what Harden is now.
I mean, people thought Ben Simmons, you know, he could work as like a distributor and defender.
To this point, he has not.
No, not at all.
Harden arrived in Philadelphia, though, to much fan.
And Ben Simmons, the thing, yo, Ben Simmons is a worse James Harden. Oh my God, y'all thought James Harden was bad? Ben Simmons is worse. I'm not even gonna get into Ben Simmons. Yo, what's with these dudes just not wanting? I don't know. Yo, niggas go to Philly and they just turn the hoes, bro. That's crazy.
He was reunited with
What
Daryl
does
Morey.
Philly got in
People
the
thought,
air?
okay, this is finally the co-star. He's with Joel Embiid, like that pick and roll. Oh boy. And honestly, with Harden, like his last couple weeks in Brooklyn, everyone kind of just assumed he was dogging it like he was in Houston, and that his numbers would improve when he got to Philly. And he got up to a pretty good start. He scored 25 or more and shot over 50% each of his first 4 games. After that, his production fell off hard. He weirdly stopped shooting a lot. There was the joke that a lot of his shooting lines looked like concert dates.
They look like concert tour dates.
You know, 415, 410, 413, 410, 412, 716. By the way, those 6 lines all happened in a row.
That is crazy. That's the craziest thing about this Harden decline is he went from one of the best scorers in NBA history to a guy who is not a good scorer at all, not efficient whatsoever.
Not only that, it seems like he doesn't want to score.
Harden.
Shoot, dummy.
Didn't want it. Niang does.
Yeah, he weirdly took this like distributing role, and to be honest, he's pretty good at it.
He's
I'll
great
give him
at
credit.
it.
Like he's really good. He's one of the best passers in the league, but I don't get what happened to his scoring offense.
Yeah, and even in the playoffs, his form didn't improve at all. He averaged 18.6 points, 8.6 assists on only 40.5% shooting. He only had 2 games in the playoffs where he shot above 50%. Even going into the 2022-23 season, I feel like people were still making excuses for Harden. Like people were like, oh, you know, maybe the hamstring was still bothering him. You know, it's an injury that can linger. You know, he's got a full off season. He's been with the Sixers for a full training camp. Like he knows the guys, he knows the coaches. Again, though, he seems to embrace this role as like a distributor first and like a scorer second. And I don't really think that's what the Sixers had in mind when they traded for him.
No, they thought they were getting the old James Harden, the
automatic
bucket
Houston
James Harden. You pair him with Embiid, kind of like the Dwight pairing back in the.
I mean, which is kind of crazy because you've seen how he was in Brooklyn, and to look at how he was playing in Brooklyn and be like, oh, okay, he just wants out. He's not even like playing his hardest. Like, you know, bro, like, come on, that was the Harden you was gonna get. There's no way you watch Harden in Brooklyn and thought you was getting Houston Harden. Like these, I don't know, bro. I don't know, like the same thing with like, I can see why the Lakers traded for Russell Westbrook because he was hooping in Washington, and it's like he did play good in the second half of that Houston season. So it was like maybe we can get something out of Westbrook, but when he got here, he just, I don't know what happened. But the thing with Harden, he was kind of ass even before he got traded.
But Embiid is obviously way better at this point in his career. But no, he cannot score anymore. He doesn't have that burst. He still kind of got that step back 3 every once in a while.
And in the playoffs, he was just the definition of inconsistent, especially against the Celtics. He wasn't great against Brooklyn, but you look at him against the Celtics. Game 1, no Joel Embiid on the road in Boston. He scores 45 points on good shooting. That was the most points he scored since like the bubble, I think. Led the Sixers to a shocking win. Game 2, he scores 12 points on 2 of 14 shooting.
Like, how does that
How does that happen?
How? I don't get it. And you would think, okay, you know, game 2, it's a fallback game. It's on the road. Game 3, he's going to show up again. 16 points on 14 shots.
And then in game 4, 42 points on 23 shots, including the 3 that put them up for good.
Yeah, he balled out in game 4, and it's like, okay, can Harden do it? Can Harden and Embiid close him out? Game 5, he was all right, but they still won. And game 6 and 7 came back down to earth.
He went through the crust. He was headed to the core. I don't know if he quite got to the core.
Going through the earth.
But he got 22 points on 7 of 27 shooting. Horrible.
I mean, this is the thing with Harden. He's always been able to put up the stats, but for some reason in the playoffs, the dude just cannot get over that hump.
And now in the offseason, he surprised everyone by opting into his contract, but it was only so that the Sixers could work on finding a trade for him. That is 3 trade requests since 2020. That is 1 per year if you are keeping track. And according to reports, at the moment right now, there's no market for him. The Suns were initially interested, but they went with Bradley Beal. The Heat were floated as an option, but they're all in on Dame. That really left only the Clippers, and apparently they are unwilling to give up Terrence Mann and the remaining draft picks to land a former MVP.
Well, if you're the Clippers, you're tying the 76ers. They're like, okay, we want this, this, and that. Who are you bidding against? No one else makes even remote sense for Harden. I couldn't see him getting traded to anyone besides the Clippers, and I kind of feel like he stays in Philadelphia this year.
Yeah, I think so too. And who knows what his relationship with the team is going to be like. He was seen at White Party with the Sixers owner with Embiid. That being said, he was also seen partying and stocking up on Trill Burger.
Nah, 3 burgers is crazy. No, 4 burgers is crazy. 4 burgers is crazy, bro.
Embiid's wedding, and he also removed all mention of the Sixers from his social media.
Yeah, and he recently posted this weird-ass thing on Instagram, like, I've been comfortable for a long time. It's time to get comfortable being uncomfortable. It was something like that. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, and this is the thing with Harden. It's
4
like,
burgers is crazy. He's trying to, hey, fuck the fast food. He's trying to do it for real. You gotta respect it. Like, yo.
Teammates. He's at Dwight, he's at Chris Paul, he's at Russ.
The determination to get traded is crazy. You just gotta like,
KD, Kyrie, Embiid. Like, at what point is he the problem?
Yeah, I'd probably say now he's the problem, when he's not really a superstar anymore and he's still demanding max contracts, wanting trades. Like, at this point, he just doesn't have the leverage anymore. Who really cares?
No, and like this whole decline of his, maybe we've just been spoiled by guys like LeBron and Steph, you know, guys who can maintain such a high level of play this deep in their career. I mean, guys like Carmelo couldn't do that, Dwayne Wade couldn't do that. But considering what Harden was only 3 years ago, and he's not even that old, he's only 33, considering what he was and what he is now in such a short time, it's just an insane decline.
Yeah.
That's the video, guys. What do you think the future holds for James Harden? I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments.
Bro, like I said, bro, James Harden needs to stay his butt in Philly. I ain't gonna lie to you. But if he goes to LA, like he goes because I hate the Clippers and I know they're not gonna do good with him. So Clippers shouldn't trade for Harden, bro. It's just a bad idea, bro. Nobody should trade for Harden, bro. Just let him stay in Philly, work it out, bro. It's not a big deal. But anyway, that's the video. If you guys like the video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And until my next video, I'll see y'all when I see y'all, boys, man. Peace.